What's going on, guys? Today, I, a 30-year-old man, will figure out, can I save Magic the Gathering sitting in front of my computer? We'll find out, right? We'll find out. This is the plan, right? Look at this. This is, oh, wow, you can't even see it. Well, good, because it's too top secret, but that's the plan to save Magic, guys, all right? Hey, thanks, guys, for sticking with us. Hey, I really appreciate all the support in the last video. As you can tell, I go on a bit of tangents, but we get to the point eventually. So, on today's agenda, can we save Magic? What is saving Magic? Nostalgia? Question mark. What does Watsy want? Hey yo, shout out to the professor. He made a vintage video. I appreciate that. And then we'll talk about the money stigma of vintage. So, the question: can we save Magic? Well, I don't know. What is saving Magic, right? And again, I think that all comes down to what my main subject of, and we're gonna try. I'm gonna try and be more positive this video. Maybe I was a little doomsday last video, right? So what I mean, can we save Magic, and what is saving Magic? I guess you gotta ask yourself: is there a group of people? And I know there's a group of people, right? Is there a group of people who really don't care? They're like almost self-destructive, and that maybe kind of comes with that money stigma comes in with vintage. Like, are the players of Magic self-destructive? That's maybe a question for another video. Well, that's maybe a little too philosophical for this video. I think the better question is, what does Watsy want? Does Watsy know what they want? I couldn't even begin to answer this question, because that company, let me tell you, as someone, many of you may not know, I was a manager for GameStop back in the day, and I was also a pretty, I did multiple different managed roles in the store and outside of the store for Best Buy, the company. Many of you have heard this, the Best Buy, yes? So, I am quite well aware of working at a very mid-level of a billion-dollar giant company, right? Like, I'm very well aware of being not at the bottom, but high enough to where it's like, you kind of know what's going on, but they still don't really tell you anything, right? And that's kind of like, I think, where it feels to be like a Watsy consumer, where like they kind of tell you but you don't have a clue, right? So they'll tell you one thing, but it's like, you know that that's not true. You know that there's got to be a reason for what they're, right? Like, and that's like a lot of times you would see it, right? You'd almost like see it come, and you'd be like, I know you guys are doing something, right? But they'll never tell you. They'll never tell you why. You'll never know why some people in some boardroom decided that this was the best idea because of this metric, because, you know. My thing, though, again, and I made this last, and this will be my last little tangent on what does Watsy want. It seems that Watsy really is almost in like a panic, print the money now, we don't have till next, you know what I mean? Like, and I know their finances are like, not, they're like, it's not like they're strapped for cash really, right? So it's like, what's with this need for like quick cash and just setting your brand on fire? Did they really think that like cardboard was gonna go away with like COVID and all of that, and they just like accelerated their plans? Why so many? Why so soon? No, why so many sets per year? Like, I know why. I know why. But why? But why? Again, okay, here, we haven't touched on this yet. Look at the art that's playing here. Last video I had magic art playing. This is sorcery art. They do one set a year. And a lot of us were worried at first. But I really think, here's the problem. Here, I'll finish this point and then I'll tell you what the problem is. With them doing one set a year, you can actually kind of build the decks. You can appreciate the decks. You can cherish the decks. Look at each card. And that's why, and we'll get this is why I want to challenge people to like this like Magic Vintage challenge, right? Like, go play revised. Go buy every revised card and just play with that set of cards. It's like 300 something cards. I promise you, you could play with only revised cards and you could create new decks for at least 2-3 years. Like you could get 2 or 3 years out of just revised, right? Like, anyway, all right, that's all I'll go with. What does WotC want? And I forgot even what tangent I was gonna go on. Maybe in post edit I'll watch this and I'll remember, and I'll insert it here. Nostalgia. Has anyone noticed? I watched a video. There was some survey. Someone needs to go look up like Bellular Gaming or something. Anyway, there's a study that came out, and when it comes to video games, remakes are doing extremely well. And what a study found was the people playing the remakes, a lot of them hadn't even played the originals. And I think I remember what my tangent I remember what my tangent was going to be about. We'll go back. Okay. So let me write it down. Okay. All right, I remembered it. Nostalgia. Okay. We're professional, guys. You could tell this is a professional operation. WotC tried to capture the nostalgia thing with the whole Magic 30, which I already ranted about how they shot themselves in the foot with that. What they really should have done is somehow, I don't know, like, how do you, maybe that's a question I'll ask you guys. How do you promote vintage Magic cards? How do you promote people? Well, I guess you don't, right? Because if you're a company, you don't make money. Like, WotC doesn't make money from you and going and engaging with the secondary market of vintage cards, right? All right, we got to cook here for a second, right? So why is it? Why is it positive that we do interact with it, though? Maybe their model just isn't built like with Pokemon. Pokemon is essentially entirely built around nostalgia, right? That is entirely what Pokemon is built around, is nostalgia. So Magic just has there's no. I'm worried that, like, again, 5-10 years from now, 2-3 years from now, Pokemon's been able to insert itself into the zeitgeist. It's been able to insert itself back into it's like everything's in cycles, right? Like, everything is in like these hype cycles and trend cycles, and Pokemon's able to kind of insert itself into the hype trend cycle every time, because Pokemon never die. You can just reboot it, new generation. Pikachu's back for the billionth time. Ash never dies. I guess they're on to new, right? And that's why, again, Pokemon, it's, as far as like collecting and all that, it's the best. So how does Magic capture nostalgia? I don't know. I'm just asking at this point, right? I don't know. And is it a benefit to them? Because the thing is, like, Pokemon can reprint Charizard a billion times. Like, the formula for Pokemon is so perfect. Whereas, like, Magic, you can't reprint the same cards. Like it doesn't work that way. I don't know. This okay, maybe this is right. Like obviously there's people who get paid millions of dollars to think about this stuff and they can't figure it out. Like they keep screwing it up. So what do I know? So some genius guys. This is where are you guys at? I need more comments. Comments. I need you geniuses in the comment section telling me what the hell we're doing here. Um, but yeah, I just there seems to be a like remakes of movies. There seems to be all this nostalgia going around and all this because no one can make an original concept anymore except sorcery. Okay, here's my. If you guys are still watching, I'll throw out my. Oh, also I had this tangent I wrote down. I wrote down the tangent and I'm about to go on it. But before that, here's what I see in my brain, and you can go Google all this. Just look up the people involved with sorcery. Eric. He was also involved with Path of Exile. So, any video game people out there? Diablo. Amazing. Blizzard made Diablo. It was amazing. It was what made, ARPGs, right? We the whole Diablo, Diablo like, Exile like, if you know, you know. And so then Path of Exile comes and it dethrones it dethrones the thing that made that genre, right? So Path of Exile comes around and Eric is he's not like one of the game, but he's like one of the art guys for it. But he's I'd say he's one of the back then, I don't think he's really involved with it anymore, grinding gear games, but I'd say he was a core part of making Path of Exile what it is as far as the aesthetic. Now he goes and makes his own TCG. And what I see is what Path of Exile did with replacing Diablo. I'd like to see sorcery do that and essentially replace Magic. Do everything that Magic did back in the day so well and perfect it. It is like look at these cards, look at this art. They're full art on all cards. It's all hand painted art. This is what this is. Is this not Magic in 2025? I don't know. So here's my tangent. You want to know why Magic sucks, guys? You want to really know why Magic sucks? I'll tell you exactly why it sucks. It's because Wizards of the Coast has to keep an entire company named Hasbro afloat. That's why. I literally think that is if someone put like a gun, and I even bet you the same thing with Rudy. If you asked Rudy, anybody, and they were forced, you say, give me one reason why, and obviously you could really just boil money, right? Money. But if you had to make it a little bit more of an answer than just money, why is Magic so trash, and why is it printed to why does it suck? The simple answer is because Wizards of the Coast is keeping Hasbro afloat. One section of this company is having to keep an entire other section of a company afloat. And there's your answer right there. They have to generate an insane amount of money to keep up with everything else. So that's that. The last little bit I want to go. We'll keep this video simple. I was trying to be more positive with this video, right? If you can tell, I just wake up in the morning and go on tangents before I go on with my day. But I want to show you guys something here real quick. Let's see if I remembered. Let's see. Can I pull this off correctly? 3, 2, 1. Hell yeah. I just want to kind of dismiss the rumor of, because when I brought up this, like, hey guys, we should go to we should like make vintage a thing again. A lot of people are like, oh, he's trying to pump vintage. Oh, vintage, are you kidding me? It's so blah 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 blah. Right? Here's the thing. Besides, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So besides like 10, 11 cards. And I'll even let you count these, right? So let's say 15. Besides, and these are like $33, right? So besides 15 cards, which just go proxy, right? Because Revised doesn't have Power 9, right? So we don't even need to talk about Power 9. Go proxy Power 9. Go proxy the dual lands. That's fine. But guys, we're still on the first page, and we're sorted by highest to lowest, and we're already at like 18. And if you just get like get heavily played ones, $7. So I don't want to hear this whole like, oh, it's super expensive, da 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 da. I mean, look at this, all these rares, and again, if you got even this like Lord of the Pit, like that's a like look at this card, that's a sick card. Look at the market, bro. It's look, you can get $1. You can get this card. You can get this card for $1. That's insane. So again, that's my whole point, guys. It's just don't like yes, like if you try to get a beta version of Balance, maybe that's not in. Okay, yeah, like yes, it's gonna be expensive. Like yeah, a beta version's $800. But bro, you could even get. I mean, I'd stick with Revised because I like the art, and it starts getting into different art, right? But oh look, even fourth edition, same art. Dang, I almost like the fourth edition. I like the unlimited. Dang, that's crazy. Look at the difference between unlimited and revised. See, so that's the thing, right? You guys got to pay attention because, like, yeah, if you want unlimited, it's going to be a $48 damage card. But look, revised, same thing. Look, so so again, you just got to know where you're looking. You could get an entire thing of fourth edition. I don't think I was gonna say I think it only has Mana Vault in fourth edition. That's why I would stick with revised because you can't get there's a few like copy artifact and stuff you can't get. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say on that. Again, guys, I don't really have much for you today. It was mostly just a hey, just go check out Vintage. I really don't care. I don't care, man. I'm just a guy ranting. I'm just a guy who's tired of seeing his favorite franchises destroyed. But it is what it is. What can you do? Um, I'll be back with a video tomorrow, maybe about Magic or Pokemon, maybe some more sorcery. Hey, go check out the art series. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of the art videos. Just let me know. If not, have a great day, guys. We'll see you around.